welcome or welcome back to Made by Vanda Mal. I'm Vanda and I make stuff. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a crochet artist. I mostly make amigurumi plushie type items that I sell at market events and online. And Happy New Year if you guys are watching this video in the new year. I'm trying to get it out today, which is New Year's Eve, so happy almost New Year's if you're watching it today. You guys, this past year has been amazing. I started this YouTube channel this year and I have absolutely loved hanging out with you all, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you that has tuned into these videos. It has really been a great year for my crochet business all around. I've had so much fun, so many learning experiences, and I cannot wait to see what 2025 brings. But before we get there, I thought I would make a little end of the year video and let you guys know some of my favorite patterns and things that I have crocheted this past year. It was a very busy year with markets for me, so I didn't get to make as many new things as I wanted to make. I think I'm gonna have a follow-up video to this one of things that I hope to make in 2025 that I am really excited to make. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already so you guys don't miss that one. But for this video, I'm going to talk about my favorite patterns of 2024. If you have been with me on this journey for a while, you might have seen some of these patterns at my events because some of them are my tried and true favorites, but some of them I don't have at all of my events, and I can't wait to make more of them this upcoming year. So let's just jump into it and get started. I am so excited. All of these patterns in this video will be listed in a Google Sheet in the description below, so make sure to check that out. Most of the patterns I make are low sew to no sew. Not a big fan of sewing, and I like to make like smaller items, maybe things that take like under 2 hours to make, just because that's what I like to make. So most of these patterns are that kind of a vibe, and we're just gonna get started. I am going to start with my favorite patterns that you see at pretty much all of my markets. Those are these AQ crochet patterns that I have at almost all of my events, and those are the cat pattern, the dog pattern, the cow pattern, the giraffe pattern, and the elephant pattern. Am I missing any? I just love these patterns. They work up in a decent amount of time and they still come out like a decent size, so I feel like I can get a good return on my work, which I love. And they're obviously adorable. You can make them in so many different colors. I love that they all kind of look like the same style of items, so I always have them featured on my like big tiers at my events, and just had to give them a little mention because they're my favorite patterns to make. Also, these other patterns I use a lot as well. I promise this video isn't just all of the patterns that I make at every single market. I definitely have a lot of different ones in here too. But the birdie bundle by the Cozy Stitch, I know I talk about it all the time, but I love these birdies. You could make them in a bunch of different colors and a bunch of different styles. I used to have my bird tiers set up. I had these like tiered stands where I would have all of these different birds there because I love making birds. I feel like the people love the birds. I can never decide which ones I'm gonna have. I just love them so much. I love this bundle. I think that they are so fun and quick. Okay, we are moving on to some items that you do not see featured at every one of my events. I might have had them at a few markets, but we are starting that category with these potted plant friends by Minnie's Crochet Friends. These were one of my favorite new pattern drops this year. I loved making these flowers. It comes in like the bundle of these different kinds of flowers, so there's just so many options, so many color options. I think they're absolutely adorable. I think they're good for kids, adults. They're just like a cute gift. You can make them for any kind of season. I'm gonna make some of the rose ones for Valentine's Day coming up. I love these flowers. I did also make some of the other Minnie's Crochet Friends plants this year. They were great as well. And I love these little potted flowers. I used to make like tiny little flowers with like worsted weight yarn, and it just wasn't my thing. And this is just so much more of my thing. So I love this pattern. It doesn't take too long to make these, and I think they come out adorable, so definitely check that out. Okay, next we have the flamingo pattern from Crochet Grove. You guys know I love this pattern. I made a few of these flamingos this year. I made some of the smaller versions, and then I had a giant jumbo version that, if you watch some of my previous videos, I had for a while. It was like one of the first things I made with jumbo yarn, and it was huge, and I loved her, and I love this pattern. It works up really quick, and I just think that it is adorable. I really want to make the swan version as well. I love that it comes in like a flamingo swan bundle. I love Crochet Grove's patterns in general. They're always really well written, and this is just one of my favorites. Next are these snap bracelet snakes by Close Knit Crochet. This was a new pattern drop this year, and I've mentioned it before on this channel. I love these snakes. They work up really quickly. I purchased a big thing of snap bracelets on Amazon. I'll link that below as well, and they work up super quick. You just work all bunch of rows in basically, and you can make them in all different colors. I think that they are adorable. I love displaying them in my market setup. I wish I had the opportunity to make more this year, so I cannot wait to be making more of them next year. I think this might become a signature item for me. I really love these snakes, and I just absolutely love this pattern. Next is this adorable fruit bundle by Eden Crochets UK. I love this bundle. At my farmer's market this summer, I made some of these blueberries and some peaches as well. I actually sold some on my Etsy too. They were a pretty big crowd favorite, and they are the cutest thing ever. While we're talking about fruits, I do have to give an honorable mention to this banana pattern by Sid and B. It is so cute. Who doesn't love a banana? It works up really quick because it's like skinny, so it is a quick pattern, and I featured it with my fruits at the farmer's market this summer, and people just got a huge kick out of it. So I will definitely be making more of those in the new year, and that was one of my favorite patterns as well for this past year. Next are these tiny little jumping spiders by Handmade by Nickel. I did start making these in the Halloween season this year, but they did so well, and when I had a couple left over, they still kept selling at my markets after that. So I think I might start incorporating more of them as a regular item. I think it's a good, I'm always looking for more like boy items. I don't know. I guess any of my items could technically be boy items, but I feel like there's some things that boys are drawn to, and I find that a lot of them are drawn to these spiders. They do really well for me. The pattern is very quick, and you can make them in a million different colors, which I love. So expect to see more of those from me in 2025. Next is Benji the Sloth. This was actually a pattern test I did for Hook Crochet Co., and I just thought this guy was amazing. I had a couple requests for a sloth item, and I did search Etsy, but I didn't see a ton of patterns that I really loved. And then Hook Crochet Co. happened to come out with this pattern test, and I was like, wow, that is the cutest sloth I ever saw. So I made it, and I absolutely loved it. He was so little, he worked up so quick, and this is just what I think about when I think of a sloth little stuffed animal. It was perfect. Next is this fluffy sheep pattern by Crochet Secrets CA. This pattern I started making for Easter of last year, and then I started getting a lot of requests for it even after the Easter season. I know spring is coming up, so I think this is a perfect time to start making these. The pattern does involve a little bit of sewing, but it's really not bad because it's just a bajillion bobble stitches pretty much. I had some kids in my family going through my Etsy, and this was actually their favorite item on my Etsy, was this crochet sheep. I mean, that face, I really can't blame them. So this was one of my favorite patterns that I discovered in 2024. Next is this tiny unicorn by Kindmaker. Not sure how to pronounce that, but this unicorn is the perfect size. I do obviously have my giant unicorn that I've had forever, which is a totally different pattern, and I get a lot of requests when people see my giant unicorn. They're like, oh, do you make little unicorns? And this is my smaller unicorn pattern that I make. I feel like a lot of unicorn patterns are pretty involved, and this one I can get done pretty quick. So this is my signature smaller unicorn pattern that I discovered this year, and it is a favorite of mine. Next was Swift the Seagull by Hand K Crochet Shop. I loved Swift the Seagull, you guys. Making him was really fun, and I thought he was adorable with his little french fry in his mouth. It was honestly tough to sell him because I wanted to keep him. Eventually I will definitely be making more of him because he is just, look at him, guys. We went on a lot of adventures together. He had his whole adventure at the shore, and full circle, he ended up actually selling at one of my events there, and everyone loved him. They got a kick out of him. This was honestly one of my favorite things that I made this year. And last but not least is this beer pattern by Little Baby Rory Crafts. You may have seen this pattern at some of my market events. I wish I had the time to be making more of those this past year because it was weird. Like, some markets they wouldn't sell, and then some markets people were obsessed with them. It really just depended on where I was and what kind of clientele I had that day. But I think overall these are a great thing to have on the table. I think this is a really great dad, boyfriend, husband kind of gift. Like, it's funny and cute, and these will definitely be on my table at my markets in 2025. Okay, you guys, that is it for this video. All of my other favorite patterns can be seen in all of my market vlogs. I have all of my patterns that I used this whole year linked in all of my market vlogs, so make sure you check those out if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much for tuning in to all of these videos. Like I said, this past year it's just been great. I've loved talking to all you guys in my comments, and please comment down below and let me know what your favorite patterns were this past year, and make sure you stay tuned for my 2025 patterns that I am looking forward to making, and I will see you guys then. Bye.